In this video, I will demonstrate a method for defeating Rakshasa Baal using a Witch's Elemental Burst unique skill. This method is based on a guide written by Terra of the Disgaea subreddit Discord, which I will link in the description. I will first show a basic version of the method in action while pointing out some relevant details. I will then explain various ways of increasing your damage output, and explain and demonstrate a more elaborate version of this method. So first let's show it in action. By default, Baal has 75% resistances to all non-star elements and 50% resistances to all weapons, and additionally has an extra 100% defense power, making it even harder to damage. Stats can't be dropped below 95%, however they actually start at 150%, so you can still drop them from 150% to 95% just to do a bit more damage. I want a unit with assist to grant following units 100% accuracy. Also, ideally, combo maker to help build the combo chain. The assist unit doesn't even need to hit, they just need to attack. And then Elemental Burst itself to kill Baal. If you're building a tower, I actually prefer to build the tower on top of the assist unit. That way you can have the assist unit adjacent to Baal for any abilities that weaken adjacent enemies, and the entire tower on top of the assist unit adjacent to Baal, and still all have them adjacent to the work who's attacking from here. Attacking from behind would be better, but that would require more movement. It's harder to set up. I will note that in this game, adjacency also counts being in towers, unlike the previous games. Now we're going to execute this. If you hit execute, the next phase will count as being on the same turn. This is good for preserving your buffs. If you instead end turn, the next phase will count as being on a new turn. This is good if you're using support attacks and need to reset your per turn limits. Now at this point, Baal gains various minions. For this phase and the next phase, you don't need to kill them, you just need to kill Baal, but they'll just get in the way. Now the pincer shells are particularly large, and this makes them quite hard to navigate around. Flying type movement does help here because of that. Also, they all have spirit protection, which means that Baal's resistances are massively increased. Baal at this point also gains this, which will reflect part of your damage back at you. It can't kill you, it'll just leave you 1 HP. However, it has an additional effect, another 200% defense power. However, this actually drops by 1% each time Baal takes a hit. And for some reason, this includes exploding Prinnies, even though he's immune to explosion damage. Now, on the final phase, you do need to kill all the enemies. This includes having to deal with an Armor Knight, who will automatically defend if attacked from the front or the side, but notably not from behind, and if defending, can take damage for allies, which will interfere with killing things. Unfortunately, we do have to kill all of them, including the ninja, who has 50% extra evasion rate, and this 100% accuracy doesn't bypass this. You need a separate ability to bypass evasion boosts. Also, all the units have abilities that will boost Baal's elemental resistances by 25%. Also, Baal starts at 90% resistance to all elements in this phase, and 75% resistance to all weapons. So I'm gonna do a bit of throwing here. I'll still keep up my units as normal. Now, when throwing the Armor Knight, pay careful attention to which way the Armor Knight is facing. It is possible to get the Armor Knight to land facing away from you, so that he won't automatically defend and hence won't automatically guard. You might need quite a lot of throw distance for this. Now, if you can't get everything into useful positions or something goes wrong, you have the option of not using up Melodia's turn and instead saving her for Passionate Approach, which will give you an extra action, so another chance to attack things. Now, that was the basic version. Now, to explain a few things, I used Elemental Burst, which is a Witch unique skill. It's a line AoE that is very powerful, but consumes all your SP. Now, to get around that, we have Magic Collection, which is from 4-star in the Witch subclass, though your attacker should have their subclasses mastered by now. And this recovers SP based on the damage dealt. Now, a major source of our damage increases here is by turning our attack's water element with Freezer, and then boosting our water element damage as much as possible. We have Elemental Force from Magic Knight subclass. This adds attack power equal to our resistance to that element. We deliberately have an Ice Witch here, and have a Cryophile on her equipment. This will ensure she has 99% resistance, even with various Baal enemies lowering your resistances. We have Mermaid Cord from Melodia, which is why Water/Ice element is chosen. This increases your water element damage based on number of adjacent allies. Can optionally also use Water Sport Athlete, that's not necessary. If you're attacking from behind, All Digger would actually be better. Also, the support units all have Kill with Water, which can be purchased from the skill shop if you have Demon class abilities unlocked. This decreases enemies' water resistance. You can also optionally use Secret Recon to drop your HP to 1. and then you equip Rosalin's Hidden Cruelty, which, if you're at low HP, will lower enemy resistances by another 25%. Again, there's another couple of units for an additional minus 50%. I'm actually not going to make use of that in what I'm going to show you, just because I wanted something I could do like without additional setup beforehand, but that is an option, and an extra 50% drop in resistances will help a lot if you have Rozalin. Another crucial source of damage, criticals. Now we have a professional for additional critical damage, which brings criticals from double damage to triple damage. You can also add additional abilities on top of that. For example, I have Powerful Bonds here via Killia, which increases your crit damage based on the number of units joining in a team attack. But you can also use something like Piyori's Justice Prevails. Now, to reach 100% crit rate, I've got quite high crit on the Witch's equipment to begin with. And these the support units have Lucky Song, which is from 5 stars in Sea Angel, which increases the crit rate of ally units. If you still can't reach 100% crit rate, you can also make use of Critical Charge, which I believe again is from Piyori. This will increase your critical based on how far you move. Now, because I'm using Powerful Bonds, I need allies to all join in on team attacks, or any that are near enough. Currently I have that with Berry Picker, however, you could instead just go to the Dark Assembly and pass the bill to make everyone friends for a day. Again, I just wanted a setup that didn't require too much additional preparation, other than just setting up the abilities in the first place. Other major abilities of note: Assassin's Soul, which is available randomly while super reincarnating. This nullifies enemy evasion abilities, which is important for dealing with the ninja, unless you just want to gamble. Mana Blade, the potency of this was realised after Terra made their guide. This adds 50% of your int to your attack power when attacking with a sword. This used to specify normal attacks, so I think they've updated the description now. This is a huge boost for only 2 slots. And as I mentioned earlier, we have Assist here, which is from Gunner. So this makes sure we actually hit. Other abilities I have here. So I've got Rising Dragon, so if I hit myself a bunch of times, I can power up my attack power further. If you don't want to have to do that kind of setup, you can also use Evil Eye, which decreases the target's defense power. I've got Gender Bender to make the witch count as male to benefit from various male boosting abilities. This is again from the skill shop if you have demon class abilities unlocked. I've got Body by Sardines via Valvatores. This will drop my stats but increase my attack and defense power, notably the attack power. This just means that instead of trying to boost my stats by 100%, I'll have to boost them by 120% to make up the difference. Also got Hero Soul from Piyori again. So if my HP is low, I deal more damage. I'm going to end up dropping my HP to 1 in the process of powering up Rising Dragon, but the damage reflection against Baal will end up dropping to 1 HP anyway. Some other things to consider if you don't have all these, or you don't have the DLC units. That was it. Face the Formidable is from Ivar, because it's your attack power against bosses. Mana Scarcity is also a pretty powerful boost for its slots. Increases your attack power by 50%, but you gain less mana. Abilities on various support units. Lovely song from Sea Angel to give a bit of a stat buff. Bodyguards from Girl Hall. Increases attack power of male units in the squad by 5%. This is partly why we need a Gender Bender. Gender Bender is less important if you're not using a bunch of DLC abilities, because a lot of, not all, but a lot of the male boosting abilities are DLC ones. Unlike Disgaea 5, you do have to deploy the bodyguards units this time, so all the units are in the same squad. Taunt from Etna. This decreases the defense power of adjacent enemies, so all the people in the tower will want this. Also, this from Bieko to increase everyone's movement. The way it counts things is when everyone is first deployed, it counts them as having been adjacent while they were in the base panel. And as mentioned before, Lucky Song and Kill with Water. Having flying type movement is quite convenient for this, so I have Sky High via Asagi on Molly's units, or some of them will instead have Magical Minicraft, and this is available randomly through Super Reincarnation. You could also use the Flyer Unique Innocent. A number of units also have Dominant Smile, again from Etna. This boosts the sets of Prinnies on the map. And to make use of this, everyone is in the Prinny Squad. Downside is, don't throw your own people, you'll explode. Now onto some more specific units. So, Majolene is being used partly for Magic Instructor, which lends 10% of her own int towards the attack power of nearby allies, and it's also being used for Magnificent Splendor, which adds 25% of her stats to anyone she casts it on. Flonne has something similar with Power of Love 2, which adds 5% of her stats. These don't stack, like, you can't have the 5% from Majolene on people, and so the 25% from Majolene on people and Flonne's 5%. However, you can still have Flonne's 5% on Majolene, and that will count towards the 25% Majolene is lending people. And as I'm going to demonstrate, I don't even make use of Flonne's Power of Love 2, but it is there as an option. Beyond that, she just has standard abilities. Now, Melodia is here for a few reasons. She increases the damage dealt by male allies on the map by 20%. This is one of the non-DLC things that boosts male allies. She also has the Floral Shower unique skill, which at max boosts everyone's attack power by 26%. and if needed, he has Passionate Approach to allow someone to act again. Now, because her damage boost is map-wide, I don't need her to specifically be in the tower for this, so she can be used for something else. And I've opted to use her to power up the Witch's Rising Dragon. So on her equipment, she's got Ambusher to stop the Witch countering her, and some combo makers. She has Handicap, so she doesn't kill the Witch by accident. This is randomly available through Super Reincarnation. And since she's doing a bunch of attacks anyway, she has Listen to My Song from Girl Lahal, which each time she attacks will power up the attack power of male units. Otherwise she has some standard support abilities. Clergy is being used for heroism. Now the point of this is, at max, it's a 1.35 times damage boost. There's nothing with the Clergy that requires being in the tower, so using Clergy as a thrower. Rozalin is being used for Queen Glitter, boosts the attack power of males on the map by 20%. This is again map-wide, so she can be used as a thrower, and everything else is standard support stuff. Using Piyori here as an additional attacker with Combo Maker to further boost the combo chain in the final phase. This could be any unit, I just happened to choose her for this. I have Psychic Force from Psychic to drop Baal's stats, most notably defense, and Bones Out for Three-Star and Succubus subclass to further lower defense. Otherwise, standard support stuff. Again, I could make use of Flonne's Powerful of 2, I'm not, so she's just being used as a thrower. Bieko is being used to make adjacent allies deal more damage and against enemies take more damage. So she needs to be in the tower for this, otherwise standard support stuff. Pleinair is being used for Idol Assist as part of the stat boost. I have enough lovely songs, Idol Assist, and Dominant Smiles to get my 120% stat boost that I need. I've got Fearsome Wansome here via Disgaea, which decreases decreases enemies' weapon resistances by up to 20%, and we'll get the full 20% if she's adjacent, so she needs to be part of the tower. And this is a huge difference maker because of just how high his weapon resistances are anyway, but this can be done without DLC. It's just a lot of the DLC does help boost your damage. You know, you could still do this on 0 star just fine without DLC, but if you want to do 20 star without DLC, you need pretty high stats, whereas you can do it at much lower stats with all the DLC stuff. And then finally I've got the assist unit, which could be anyone. I just happen to be using a Mecha Girl for this. I've got Marking, 5-star Gunner subclass. This increases the damage of ally units in the chain. Gives a bit of an extra boost. So I think that covers all my abilities here. A note on something that sadly doesn't work. So, Sliver of Tyranny from Valvatores increases skill power, makes it use more SP. For whatever reason, this doesn't work on Elemental Burst. Maybe it's because of how Elemental Burst's SP consumption works. But yeah, this doesn't work on Elemental Burst. And is a shame because this would be a significant boost. So I'm going to show a more elaborate version of the setup in action in a minute. Keep chop. Let's put that all the way up. Let's slow things down a bit, guess you can see what's going on. I'm also going to commence Prinny Day. Which will only allow Prinnies on the next map, so thankfully everyone's in the Prinny Squad. But what it also doesn't tell you is it boosts enemy stats. So this 20-star Rak Baal is going to be even stronger. So you can see his stats are already really high in the first phase. Now I'm actually going to auto this because I have a special DI setup for this. I don't recommend autoing this, but I just did this because I could. I just wanted to challenge myself by making a DI for it. I'm going to turn auto off for a minute because I want to show you. This is what the final phase looks like for 20-star Prinny Day Rak Baal. Now, even with all the stat boosts, my stats are only this high. They're still tiny compared to his stats, but still going to win anyway. And that gives you some idea of what the setup is capable of. And a reminder that before I went into battle, that's what my stats looked like. Now I'm going to adjust settings again to show one more thing. If you want to be extra cheesy, there is something else you can do on the final phase. So, if you have some Prinnies or other explosive units with Disciple Spirit, you can use those who are throwing, blow up your own Prinnies, and still be able to deploy your full team. So I hope this video was informative. I hope you got some ideas of how to handle Rak Baal. I hope this video was entertaining, and thank you for watching.